Our Great Lakes are the pride and joy of every Michigander, as well as an economic powerhouse that supports more than 1.3 million jobs.
We all have our own Lake Michigan story, right? What these waters mean to us, what this land means to us. Let's take a moment to reflect on those good times.
Water, yeah, it's really important.
Threatened by a decrepit, ticking time bomb, Enbridge Line 5, that is older than I am, and I am qualified for Social Security.
Line 5 flows through the whole state, and if the pipeline breaks in the Straits or anywhere along its 645 miles, we will have a disaster.
Enbridge caused the biggest inland oil spill in history.
A spill that, according to DOJ records, went unnoticed by Enbridge for 17 hours.
That Enbridge oil spill happened in July of 2010.
They have a track record of lies, shoddy maintenance, and the catastrophic rupture of Line 6B fouling the Kalamazoo River near Marshall that is still not and never will be remediated in my lifetime.
If you walk along the Kalamazoo River miles from the accident, you will see the sheen of oil on the water. And that's today, right now.
Oil and water do not mix.
So why are we continuously acting in good faith with a company that does not give a crap about any of us or our water? Why are we doing this? This makes no sense to me.
Now Enbridge wants to continue to operate precarious Line 5 while building a tunnel, the construction of which carries a very real risk of explosion.
Study after study has been released telling us that the perceived benefits of construction are not worth risking our waters.
Are the safety and engineering standards adequate for the pipeline and tunnel construction, operation, and maintenance?
Risk of explosion during prolonged construction due to dissolved methane above reportable limits were discovered during geotechnical investigation.
When gases build up, they become more concentrated and more volatile. And when you have gas and oil moving through a pipeline, there's vapors that are not stoppable. There will always be vapors coming out of that product going through the pipeline.
If you ask me, this tunnel proposal sounds like a plan to build the biggest pipe bomb in all of history.
The 200 jobs the tunnel would create is trivial compared to the 200,000 Michigan jobs in the tourist industry and the millions of Michiganders who enjoy the beauty and the recreation the Great Lakes provide.
Continuing to allow an oil pipeline to operate in the Straits of Mackinac goes against the economic interests of Michigan.
The ostensible need for Line 5 is completely manufactured by Enbridge.
Multiple studies have shown, as has been pointed out, that decommissioning Line 5, which the no pipeline alternative ought to be considered here, if Line 5 is decommissioned, there will be very little impact on gas prices, both in Michigan, the Midwest generally, and also, in fact, in Canada.
Is there a problem with people losing their work and jobs? No. The Upper Peninsula Task Force has already looked into that. All this stuff about propane, trucks can take it over from Superior, Wisconsin without a problem. There'll be a lot of companies up there that would love to distribute that. Is there going to be a shortage of jet fuel at Detroit Metro? No. There isn't, because it's a very small amount that they get, like 5% from Line 5. So is there a public need? No.
I respectfully demand that the MPSC decline to grant a certificate for Enbridge Line 5. There's no public need for it. In fact, it stands to threaten the public good.
The UN Secretary General has called one of the most recent IPCC reports Code Red for humanity.
The most recent IPCC report calls for rapid, unequivocal decarbonization of the global economy.
This project would lead to an increase of 27 million metric tons of CO2 annually. We can't afford this.
And are we not trying to move away from oil?
We don't need to move past debating about which way to transport oil. We have to.
The people of Michigan cannot truly prosper in the long term without a healthy climate and without clean drinking water. These are our most important public assets.
Enbridge has already stated at a federal level that they expect this pipeline to have a much earlier end date of usage than previously expected.
The need for products transported through Line 5 will be rapidly declining over the next several years.
Once Enbridge stops making a profit, they will abandon the tunnel.
They'll be handing over their risk to us, the public.
If Michigan is truly looking into the future, we need to look into renewable energy.
There are renewable energy sources that don't require either pipelines or complicity in ecological degradation and environmental racism.
If we're talking about saving humanity, it starts with eliminating this tunnel, eliminating Line 5.
When there is a spill and we cannot enjoy pure Michigan, how will you feel?
So don't enable this continued exploitation, the endangerment, the ignorance of facts, and the failure of morals. So we're asking, reject this short-sighted tunnel. We need to shut down Line 5. Miigwech.